Hi there, I'm Simon from TestBuddy. There are many ways of testing a product, and today I'm going to show you one of them. I call this risks and questions. This kind of exploratory testing is a convenient, accessible method of exploring a product and making useful discoveries. I particularly like how it improves and facilitates conversations with a broader team. This is a practical exercise that can work with products you know well or products you're new to. And for this exercise, you'll need one of these: a notepad, a digital note-taking tool, or TestBuddy. I'll be using TestBuddy today, and if you'd like to do the same, make sure you signed up and logged in before carrying on. Let's start with a simple product to test. I've chosen a parking calculator. There's a link to it in the video description. Have a look. You can see it's a simple calculator for a parking lot. To test this product, we'll follow a 5-step plan. Step 1. Understand the product's value. Step 2. Come up with possible risks. Step 3. Turn risks into useful questions. Step 4. Run a test session to answer our questions. And Step 5. Share your findings. Step 1. Understand the product's value. Products are expected to provide some value to their users. What value do we expect this app to give its users? Pause the video and spend a few minutes writing down what value you think this product might offer. Usually the context the product is used in is very important to this task, but since we don't have that, feel free to imagine how this product might be used. There are no wrong answers. Here are some possible answers to the question: what value do we expect this app to give its users? Provide users with a realistic parking cost so that they can plan their budget. Help users understand parking costs so they can choose the best date and location that matches their desired price. Allow users to explore possible costs so they can minimize their expenditure. When thinking about a product's value, I find it useful to think in terms of the value to the user rather than in terms of functions available in an app. Step 2. Come up with possible risks. Risks are anything that might threaten the value of a product. What risks are there that might prevent this app from providing its expected value? Pause the video now and spend a little time coming up with potential risks. Again, there are no wrong answers. You can think about the product in the context of the values we came up with earlier and use your own critical thinking to imagine how it might fail to deliver that value. Here are the risks I came up with that I think may threaten the value of this product. A user may be led to think they found the best price option and later discover there are better options. A user might enter their information incorrectly and be misled on how much parking will cost. The user might lose access to the internet due to an outage and not be able to access the app. Now that we have some risks, let's move on to the next step. Step 3. Turn risks into useful questions. What we're going to do is consider each of these risks and use them as mental triggers. We want to come up with useful questions about the product that help us better understand the risks we came up with and the impact they might have. We can take each of the risks from earlier and turn them into one or more questions, like this. So for the risk, a user may be led to think they found the best price option and later discover there are better options, we could ask, how does a user calculate parking costs with the app? Or, how does the app indicate to the user that they have the cheapest option? And for the risk, a user might enter their information incorrectly and be misled on how much parking will cost, we could ask, how easy is it to enter data? Or, is it clear what parameters were entered when provided with a particular parking cost result? And for the risk, the user might lose access to the internet due to an outage and not be able to access the app, we could ask, what happens to the app in offline mode? These questions are starting points for us to learn more about the product. We can now use and explore the product in order to answer these questions and capture any observations we make as we go. Pause the video and spend a few minutes considering each of the risks you came up with and turn them into questions. Try to think of interesting or useful questions that you feel, if you answer them, will help you better understand your risks. Step 4. Run a test session to answer our questions. So here's my setup. The parking calculator on the left and TestBuddy on the right. I'll use TestBuddy to capture my notes. You'll see I've given the session a title, set a timer for 15 minutes, and I've documented my risks and questions in the planning section. At this point, the session is ready to be run anytime I'm ready. Pause the video, Set up your own session with a title and time box similar to mine, and then run a testing session, attempting to answer the questions you came up with earlier by using and exploring the product. Don't worry if you didn't come up with any questions, just use mine. Write down what you observe and are thinking. Now, if that sounds a little weird, imagine you're telling someone what it is you're doing and what's happening as it happens. It might feel a little odd at first, but I encourage you to give it a try. What I just did was explore the product, in each case beginning with one of the questions I came up with, and then I made notes on what I observed. For example, I noticed the following in relation to: is it clear what parameters were entered when provided with a particular parking cost result? I selected economy parking and a new cost is calculated. However, the lot type drop-down list has returned to short-term parking. It's now unclear that the display cost is for economy parking. And for how does the app indicate to the user that they have the cheapest option, I observed the following and suggested this idea. It's not immediately clear what lot types provide the cheapest option. How about adding a best price or lowest cost label when the lowest cost is calculated displayed? How about an indicator when there is a lower cost available? For example, lower cost options are available. And here are the rest of my notes. A link to the actual session is available in the video description. You'll likely discover more unanswered questions during the exploration step. That's absolutely fine, and a reason why step 5 is so important. Step 5. Share your findings. We believe great products are born from teams who have great conversations. Sharing your learnings is a critical part of this. Find a method to share with your colleagues. With TestBuddy, you can download a handy PDF report, walk them through your notes, and agree next steps. Risks and questions is one way you can run an exploratory test session. Give it a go on a product you're testing at work and let us know how you get on. Share your learnings with us and happy testing.